Hello everyone, thanks for joining in. I am Shubha Kankaria and welcome to episode 4 of Daastan-E-Raahi. It is a travel talk where we get to know about amazing places through wonderful stories of various travelers. So our today's guest is a software engineer at ACI Worldwide, but he's also an avid traveler, marathon runner and a very dear friend of mine. He has knack of telling stories in most unique ways right away from food to places. We have trekked together in Sayadri and Himalayas and his work has also taken him to some very interesting places. So guys, without any further delay, let's get on board Vishal Purushottam.
How are you? Good to see you after a long time.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you. And good to see you too after a long time. I've been doing great. Corona has been helping us a lot stay home. So I'm doing great at home.
Yeah. Okay, Vishal. So without any further delay, let's talk with the things we are here for. So to
Uh,
begin with, I know you have traveled a lot. You have been to lot of places. But if you want to pick any one place which completely stands out for you, what place would that be?
yes, I would like to take you down my memory lane, and we'd like to visit Gambia. Gambia, which happens to be a part of West Africa, a very small country. And I'd
Okay.
been there for my previous company, Redney. So when we were working with Redney, we went as a support analyst over there, a technical support analyst over there.
Okay.
We were trying to help them with their telecom projects. Talking about Africa, right? We all know about Africa, how rich it is with its wildlife, its heritage. We just know of it, or we've just heard of it. So sitting here, यहाँ बैठ के जब हम टीवी देखते हैं तो आजकल कुछ गैबॉन एंड कॉन्गो के कुछ इलेक्ट्रिकल प्रोजेक्ट्स के बारे में भी हम लोग सुन रहे हैं या फिर देख रहे हैं वीडियोस. Come and
Okay.
invest in Gabon, they are saying, invest in Congo. So they showcase their wildlife so beautifully. When you see that, they showcase their wildlife so beautifully. We have those big white elephants over there, and we have those beautiful birds out there. So Gambia is rich with its wildlife. Its heritage is beautiful, and it should be portrayed as beautifully as they can. I mean, they do justice when they are trying to display that or portray that on TV when they are broadcasting their advertisements basically. So that's what Gambia is. Gambia is. I like to talk.
I had never heard about this country. Like it was the first time I heard about this country was from you. And I don't
Right.
think Gambia is so popular in Africa. Is that like, or is it
Right.
like no?
Right, Gambia is not popular. So when I was supposed to go to Gambia, and my mother, she had some friends coming over, and she told them that my son would be going to an African country, and she told them that he'll be going to Gambia. They were like, "Ah, Zambia, ये नाम सुना है? सबके हाथ में बंदूक होता है ना वहाँ पे?" Mom just panicked, and she was like, ऐसा कहता है क्या? मैं मेरे बेटे को बोलती हूँ नहीं जाना चाहिए फिर वहां पे. So that evening when I come home, work in shift. So as soon as I come home, जैसे ही मैं उस शाम को घर पे आता हूँ, मम्मी इज लाइक, बेटा वो सामने वाली आंटी कह रही थी कि बंदूक होता है सबके हाथों में वहां पर. मेरा ऑन साइड जाने का प्लान या मेरा बाहर घूमने का प्लान शायद यही चौपट होने वाला है. और मुझे I hadn't done my background. Right? I hadn't done my background homework, so I didn't know what exactly am I facing. And when she tells me this is the case, I'm like, let me make some calls. I don't think it is that. I mean, that's. It's not a hostile area. Basically, let me check with my teammates. Two people had already been to Gambia. One was already
Okay.
there, my teammate. The other teammate was already there, and I was supposed to replace them. I replaced one of them. So I gave a call, a WhatsApp call to basically somebody who was already there. So they are 5.5 hours behind us. I give them a call, and I understand it is not at all a place that we define, not basically an African country that we call maybe a hostile place or some people where they have guns in their hand or they are we should be frightened of. It's very
Yeah.
beautiful. And the person who
Yeah.
told me explained it to me very beautifully that this is a peaceful place. You don't have to be worried about anything. You can safely come here without worrying about any such basically nonsense that we talk of, or maybe that we basically talk here that maybe guns and roses is something that we see over there. It's not the case. It's very peaceful. People are God fearing, and there's so many things out there. The people are God fearing, and it's basically this country. I like to stress about its history and more facts about it.
So before that, so it was your first time in Africa, or you had been to Africa before?
Never been to Africa. That was the first and last time I've been to Africa. वो एकलौता country जिसको मैंने visit किया है in Africa. That was the good country I visited in Africa, and after that I didn't go to Africa ever. So I have plans, Shubha. I told you that I like to go to Gambia whenever I get a chance because it's a very peaceful country. It's safe, and the currency rate is amazing. So we can always stay there, enjoy
Yeah.
beautiful environment. It has very beautiful and serene beaches. It's clean, and as clean as we talk of the most beautiful and most clean city in India, which Bangalore was named of. It is even more beautiful than that. So they have
Okay.
stringent things in place. So uh, let me just tell you about how Gambia is, right? Gambia. I went to Gambia in 2016, right? 2016 में जब मैं वहाँ पे गया था, Gambia at that time did not have plastic in the whole of the country, right? This country is so sustainable that it does not support plastic. Everything that you get in the shops or the market is basically things that do not use plastic. Everything is neatly wrapped in paper and it is given to you. So they do not use plastic, and they are far away from plastic. Any plastic that you get basically is the ones that are packaged and brought in or maybe packed in because they need to be kept safe, right? So even bread, right? Bread that they give you is wrapped in brown colored paper that
Yeah.
Hussein कैंप वाला हुसैन जो अभी भी ब्राउन पेपर में रैप करता है उस तरह का पेपर में वो लोग पहले से रैप करते थे 2016 में. And when I went to that country, they have these cleanliness drives every alternate Saturday of the month. First, third, and fifth Saturday. अगर पांचवा Saturday है तो पांचवे Saturday को भी they'll be having cleanliness drives. So if this is my place, मेरे घर के सामने का जो भी area है, that is my responsibility. I need to clean it on a Saturday. And if you have a shop, you cannot clean it for the first half. Your shop should be open only in the second half. You cannot open it in the first half. You have to
Wow,
do clean stuff. Yeah, that's how
that's
that
a good rule. Like,
and that rule is basically implemented by the president, right? So you cannot override. So
wow.
you have to keep your environment clean. It is you're bound to that. You cannot disobey that, and you'll be fined, of course. But area surrounding your place is not clean, right? So this country is basically rich for its wildlife, as I told you, it's Africa, but it's also a tourist spot. West region, right? This west part of Africa is surrounded by a lot of countries like Guinea-Bissau, Senegal, uh, uh, many names, right? I don't even remember those many names. Gambia is there, and there is Morocco. Morocco is the gateway. Morocco ऊपर जो है ये gateway है between Europe and Africa. तो अगर किसी को अफ्रीका में एंटर करना है तो मोस्टली जो फ्लाइट्स है वो मोरक्को से कनेक्ट करती है. Otherwise, you don't have direct flights to Gambia. If you have to go to Gambia, like I went from here to Dubai via Emirates, Dubai to Morocco, and Morocco to Gambia. So it's been 3 hops actually taken in order to reach Gambia. And when I reached Gambia, it's basically famous for its farming, its fishing, because it's a country that is surrounded by its west coast completely by water, right? So it's famous for its fishing too. It has a lot of fishery intake, and it also exports it out. और इसके अलावा what it is famous for is tourism. Tourism actually forms the heart of what their basic bread deals of. So यहाँ पे जो उनका livelihood है और daily bread and butter है, mostly comprises of tourism as the heart, right? और
Hmm.
should say मेनली जो 80 to 90% इनका रेवेन्यू जनरेशन है वो भी टूरिज्म से ही हो रहा है, क्योंकि लोग आएंगे तब उनको खाने पीने को रेवेन्यू जनरेट कराएंगे, बिकॉज दे आर स्टेइंग एट देयर प्लेसेस, दे आर ईटिंग एट देयर रेस्टोरेंट्स एंड समथिंग लाइक दैट. सो टूरिज्म जो है उनके इसको ड्राइव कर रहा है, बेसिकली उनके
Yeah.
पॉपुलेशन कर रहा है.
Hmm.
एरिया वाइज, I just did a Google research on that. Area wise, this country is 11,295 kilometers square, right? Square kilometers in space, right? Comparing
Okay.
that to Pune, Pune
Yeah.
is 7,587 when we talk of Pune. So,
So it is
Pune,
kind.
yeah, right.
Huh.
Pune is a city, right? Now, I'm just,
Right.
Pune
I
is a
know,
city.
and that's the whole country you're talking about. Yeah.
So, we are comparing 7,587 to 11,295.
Yeah.
Just 3,000 or less than 3,000, right? No, sorry, 4,000, less than 4,000 square kilometers. That's
Yeah.
how the country is. And this country, when you look at it on a map, is basically surrounded by another country. So this is another fascinating thing.
Okay.
Senegal is basically a country, and Gambia is another country inside Senegal. So this country is inside another country, and it has its.
Like when you say it's inside, was it like it's surrounded by it, or how is that? Like inside a country? What do you mean by that?
So you see, Madhya Pradesh is a state, right?
Yeah.
And Maharashtra is a state. So Maharashtra is a state surrounded by Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh on one side, and then it is surrounded by Karnataka on the other side,
Karnataka. Yeah.
right? Something like that. So Maharashtra is a state surrounded by three or four other states. I don't know. My geography is very bad
Right.
on that. Senegal is a country, and Gambia is a country which is only this small patch, and
Okay.
absolutely by Senegal on all its borders except for the sea. So
Okay.
इस तरफ का समुंदर का तट छोड़ दिया जाए, so इस तरफ का जो बीच है वो छोड़ दिया जाए, तो बाकी तीनों तरफ से उसको सेनेगल ने सराउंड किया हुआ है. एंड दिस केम इनटू एग्जिस्टेंस एज अ कंट्री बिकॉज यहाँ पर अगर हम बात करेंगे, सेनेगल was colonized basically by the French people. ठीक है, तो उस इरा में जब हम बात कर रहे 1700 AD की, तो 1700 या 18th सेंचुरी में जब हम बात करते हैं कि ब्रिटिश, स्पेनिश और फ्रेंच और पोर्चुगीज लोग जब सारी कंट्रीज को कॉलोनाइज कर रहे थे, सत्ता अपनी हासिल कर रहे थे उस जगहों पे, सेनेगल को पूरे फ्रेंच ने कॉलोनाइज किया हुआ था, वहां पे अपना सत्ता जमा हुआ था, और उसके बीच में ये छोटा सा पैच ब्रिटिशर्स को मिल गया. So the British managed to colonize this small patch of land which came to existence as an English-speaking country, which is Gambia. And it is absolutely surrounded by French-speaking people, which is Senegal, and Senegal itself is a country. So this is a country surrounded by a country, absolutely. That's how beautiful it is.
Say that only part of India speaks English and rest people speaks French. Like more prominent is French and more prominent is English. That's what you meant, right?
Yes, yes. So that's how it is. So the surrounding part is absolutely French-speaking crowd. So you step one foot out of Gambia, and the rest of the crowd speaks French. And you step inside, and it's all English. And the fact is, these people are so beautiful. They can speak very beautiful English, right? But the literacy rate matters, right? वहाँ की अगर literacy की बात करेंगे तो वो फिर से it's literacy. They're not that literate that they can write. They cannot write that clean, but they can speak beautiful English. Their daily languages include English as one primary language that they speak to, and that is why foreigners don't have a problem going to this country. The whole of the Europe crowd, if they want to take a break and go to Africa for some reason, for outing, they end up in Gambia because Gambia speaks English, and you don't have a problem talking to anybody else if that whole country speaks English. It's like that. That's so beautiful, because if I have to say to
Are these two countries culturally also same or they're different? मतलब
Oh, no,
because they
no.
were एक को ब्रिटिश ने किया, एक को फ्रेंच ने किया, तो कल्चर है, they have similar culture.
Uh, Similar culture, yes, I will say partly, but they do not still follow similar things. They have a different with the cultures too. Because these are two different countries, right? You see Nepal also, it has rupiah as its currency, but it's not culturally the same as us. Now, most of them they follow Buddhism over there. They are more peaceful people, right? And we follow so many other religions. So it's so much of a difference when we talk about even our neighboring country, which is Nepal, and they have a similar currency, but it's still culturally different from us, right? They also follow a different religion. Talking of religion, of course, there is mostly Islam is followed there, and it's mostly a Muslim country, and all of them mostly follow 80 to 90% of the crowd mostly follows Muslim as their religion over there, and partially you also have Christians. So that's the whole country, right? They don't have multiple religions out there. Languages, though, they have a lot of languages, like India has. They don't have a lot of castes over there, but they don't have a lot of languages. So, like we have a lot of languages according to regions, they have roughly around 12 languages that they told me. And out of those 12 languages, 12 भाषाओं में से Mandinka, Wolof, and Fula is the three most spoken language. Sorry. So वो लोग ज्यादातर बात करते हैं ना, तो they use Mandinka और Wolof, and Fula is less used. उस तरह का कुछ है. तो इस तरह की बातें हैं वहाँ पे, और वो लोग इंग्लिश को प्रेफरेंस देते हैं, बिकॉज किसी और से अगर बात करना है, फॉरेनर से अगर बात करना है, तो इंग्लिश हैज टू बी द लैंग्वेज. So that is how they talk to the foreigners. They have English as their first language. So
That makes
yeah,
so much of information.
so much of
History,
it.
country within a country, and culturally they are different. So that has given us a glimpse of Gambia, of course. But then, if we talk particularly about Gambia, then how is culture and food and people in Gambia? Like in that term, how is Gambia?
Ah, I'll have. How long do we have here? I have stories that can go all night, and I can extend until a month. I need to tell you stories.
Unfortunately, we'll try to accommodate, the time, but it's around 1 hour with us. So yeah.
Right. I have so many beautiful experiences from Gambia. Let's one story. I'll tell you. Safety, right? एक रात है. So I want you to immerse yourself into the story, and I'm trying to tell you this. This is one night. It's pitch dark outside. I stay at Senegambia. Senegambia is their place, which is like Koregaon Park in Pune. वहीं जहाँ पे
Okay.
क्लब है और बहुत ही हैपनिंग प्लेस है.
Yeah.
लेकिन इस Senegambia से बाहर रोड पे निकल के लेफ्ट ले लो टुवर्ड्स द मेन सिटी. तो जैसे ही लेफ्ट लेते हो, एक एक सिग्नल सॉरी एक चौक है, एक क्रॉसिंग है,
Okay.
और वहां
Okay.
से तो बीच को जस्ट रास्ता जाता है, और वहां पे सारे क्लब्स है. बट if you go straight, there are hardly street lights for some distance. I would say around 2 or 3 kilometers, there are hardly street lights over there. And exactly there was a shop, Express Bees करके. So I was supposed to gather some groceries from that shop, and I wanted to visit that shop late in the night after my dinner. So it was around 9:30 in the clock, and I had my dinner, and I wanted to visit that store. So we had a car. I did not prefer to take the car. I thought, let's go walking, because I like the environment around this. So I thought, let's go walking, because it's all sand outside my place. रेत है, तो मैं बोला रेतों में वॉक करके जाएंगे आराम से. थोड़ा रेत है, उसके बाद मेन रोड पे वॉक करके वहां तक चले जाएंगे.
Hmm.
I took my stuff from there, and I was returning. It was just a small white, brown colored carry bag, as I told you, with stuff in it. Grocery, basically. I think I had soap, I had a shampoo or something like that. And it's just a small brown colored carry bag that I have in my hand, and I'm holding it close to my chest, and I'm walking on the street, which does not have street lights. When I'm walking, I noticed somebody who is on the right hand side of the road, opposite side of the road, and he is looking at me. He's at some distance, he's just looking at me. अगले 30 मीटर पे होगा मेरे, और वो मुझे वहां से देख रहा है. I was looking at this guy and I felt something fishy. I was like, ये ऐसे क्यों देख रहा है मुझे? अंधेरा है. I can see him. I think he can see me because there are vehicles on the road. And what does he want out of me? Yeah, ऐसे क्यों देख रहा है मुझे? I continued to walk. I did not look at him. I did not stare at him, and I continued to walk. As soon as I approached somewhat close to him, he started crossing the road. Now he's coming closer to me, and I started speeding up. So the moment you sense this is pitch dark, andhera hai, an unknown figure is approaching you, you don't know him, you start speeding up. And I'm on the side of the road. I'm starting speeding up, and this guy happens to almost draw close to me. He's just behind me, and he calls out to me, excuse me, sir. So when he calls me, excuse me, sir, I'm like, gently sir बोला है या कुछ हाथ में है इसके, देख लेते हैं. I had a phone. Turned on the camera instantly before I turned. I kept walking. I turned on the camera of the phone. I turned around and I looked at him and I said, yes. And when I pointed my flash light of the camera towards him, I saw it's not even a person. It's not a man. It's a small kid, and not that small kid, but something around 11 or 12. Somebody in the 11th or 12th grade, and he's of my. Oh, by the way, these people are heighted, right? These people are almost your height, even for the college going kids. तो ये लड़का मुझे देखता है आंखों में और मुझे बोलता है, he talks English, right? So we have any business, man? You help me with $5. Can you help me with $5, please?
So Dalasi is the currency, right? If I get it right.
Dalasi is the currency. So I'll give you a rough conversation of this. $5 is roughly 7.5 Indian rupees. That's it.
Oh, 7.5. Okay.
Ek Dalasi is roughly equivalent to 1.5 Indian rupees. That's it. Right. So that's cheap. So अगर इसने दलासी मांगा है तो ये roughly 7.5 रुपया मुझसे मांग रहा है, and he's telling me he did not have business throughout the day and he's just asking me for 5 dalasis. That's how gentle he was. And I felt pity for that guy because he was not actually begging, he was not actually complaining, and he was not demanding.
Yeah,
He was
it was more like a request, like, if you can types. Yeah.
I really felt bad for him, and I reached out to my pocket. I knew I had some change in my pocket because वहाँ पे हम लोग कार्ड से बाई नहीं करते थे, हम लोग जो भी चीजें खरीदते थे सब कैश से खरीदते थे. और मेरे पास I reached out to my pocket. I had some 20 odd dalasis. तो मैंने वो दूसरा नोट उसको दे दिया. Well, I use it wisely, and he was really thankful, and he was really. He was really thankful, and the way he looked at me was like, "Thank you, my man, thank you." Like, yeah, use it carefully, use it wisely, and he just left off. He just thanked me and he left off. He didn't mean anything. He just came in for the money and he left. That's how close it was, and without any basically, and a beautiful experience with people, right? That you understand that people who can be misunderstood, but when you actually talk to them, you understand you don't have to be afraid of them. He had his own reason. He came to me and he asked me for that money, and he did not beg for money. He did not demand for money. He just requested that money and he paid for it and he left for it. I mean, left after he got it. That's unexpected. Yeah, right. So this same lane, right? This same lane. If you turn, I told you, right? If you go straight from this lane and you take a left turn inside, you go to the beach. So when I was, actually going to the beach from this lane full of clubs, the shops mostly, the जो यहाँ पे दुकानें हैं ना, they're mostly the currency conversion shops. So ये कन्वर्जन वाले हैं ना, ये वो दुकानें हैं वहाँ पे. क्लब्स हैं, क्लब्स के बीच में कुछ कन्वर्जन वाले हैं, क्योंकि उनको पता है यहाँ पे फॉरेनर्स भी आने वाले हैं. ये क्लब्स में फॉरेनर्स, तो इनको क्या लगेगा, पैसा लगेगा, इनको कन्वर्जन करा के दे देंगे. तो I don't know. They somehow know we are Indians. Right? They just look at the face. Oh, this guy is an Indian. I tell you what. So I'm walking. I'm walking here along with my friend who is uh, his name is Mahesh, and he is a colleague of mine, and both of us were together in Gambia for those 52 days that I was in Gambia. So Mahesh and I were walking to the beach. We used to go walking on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays because it was a 3-day weekend. By the way, we did not work for 5 days. We worked for 4 days only. So Friday
Wow.
was Friday, Saturday, and
That is
Sunday.
better than India then.
And bad habit, of course, if you start working for 4 days in a week.
Yeah.
So I was walking with Mahesh to the beach, and there's one guy who just showed out of the shop, and he's like, "Man, you're Indian, you're Indian." Like, yes, how do you know we are Indian? But you look Indian. Oh, Shah Rukh Khan. I'm like,
Okay.
he's asking me if I know Shah Rukh Khan. I just gave him, yes, no Shah Rukh Khan. Why? How do you know Shah Rukh Khan? I watched his movie. I watched his movie. Suraj, you are madam. He's like, oh, I was surprised when he started singing Suraj Hua Madam. Suraj Hua Madam? This guy knows this song. This guy knows Shah Rukh Khan songs. And uh, he started singing this song Toota Foota, हिंदी वाला song टूटा फूटा कर ऑफ कोर्स उसकी भाषा नहीं है तो मैं एक्सपेक्ट करूंगा कि वो टूटा फूटा कर सूरज हुआ
But he
मैडम.
knows Shah Rukh Khan that like there are fans of Shah Rukh Khan in Gambia also.
Also, so we usually do not talk to them, but this guy took me by surprise. So I stopped by and
Yeah.
I look at, how do you know that song? He is like, I see his movie, man. I like Shah Rukh Khan. I see his movie. I'm like, wow. And that this guy actually tells me, startles me. He tells me, "Kaise ho?"
Okay.
So the next reaction, immediate reaction for anybody would be, how much Hindi can you speak?
Yeah.
It's Hindi. You know that is Hindi. How do you know Hindi? Oh,
Yeah.
this is from his movie. So I asked him, do you know what it means? Yeah, he tells me, yes, I know. You know, it means, how are you? How are you? Wow, that's enough. Actually, have a
Smart
thing.
guy.
Smart guy. Then he goes on to name us. He's like, should I give you a name from our place? I was like, I'm fine with it. What are you going to name us? So he says, okay, I will name you. He looks at me. I will name you Lamin. Lamin is the common
Lamin.
name. Lamin, yeah,
Okay.
Lamin.
Okay.
Lamin. So he goes on to name me Lamin. He tells me, I will name you Lamin. And you, Mais, Mais, right? He doesn't speak.
Yeah.
I guess so he says Mahesh. He's like, M Mohammed. I give you a name Mohammed. So Mahesh was so startled by that name Mohammed. No, I don't want that name. He's like, I don't want that name. So Mahesh was
But then
not.
is there a particular reason of naming people, or it was just like
It's just
that?
like a gesture. So because
Acha,
you talk
okay.
to me, you've been friendly to me, I'll call you by
Yeah.
names and I'll give you two nicknames. That is Lamin and that is Mohammed for you. I kept Lamin as my nickname.
Okay. Like a friendly gesture, like considering you as their own people, sort of like.
Yes, yes. So I was really happy when he actually called out to me as Lamin. So that was a good nickname for me. I hope I
Yeah.
can, but still, that's how it was. So
Yeah.
ahead from this guy, we now reach the beach. This beach houses a lot of shacks, let me say, are not like Indian shacks. अगर आप गोवा जाओगे तो गोवा में कर्लीज और वैसे वैसे बड़े shack है ना. These people are not that rich that they'll build a big shack over there. They'll have seats और फिर वो बड़े ऐसा आई लव गोवा वाला पोस्टर लगाया हुआ है वैसा वैसा नहीं है वहाँ पे. These people are not as rich as we are. These people are actually far way too poor, right? Or far too poor as compared to what us Indians are. So this guy had hardly what 3 or 4 chairs. उसमें भी कुछ थोड़े टूटे फूटे टाइप्स थे. और एक छोटा सा शैक था उसका, शैक मतलब ऐसे ही छोटा सा झुग्गा टाइप था जहाँ पे हम लोग
जैसे हम बोलते हैं लाइक छप्पर टाइप लगा के, वैसे सॉर्ट ऑफ।
एक्चुअली वैसा एकदम वैसा, ठीक है। तो वो वैसा है और वहां पे हम लोग उसके पास यूजुअली रुकते थे। ही वाज बेसिकली somebody who we used to see every odd day that we used to go। अब हफ्ते में 3 बार अगर हम लोग बीच पे जाएंगे नॉन वर्किंग डेज पे, तो लोगों से पहचान हो ही जाती थी किसी ना किसी तरह से। एंड बंदे के पास हम लोग एक दिन रुक गए और हमने उसको पूछा कि कैन वी हैव, दैट रिमाइंड्स मी आई शुड आल्सो बी fantastic। So we get to go to this guy and we ask him how about juices, what fresh fruit juices do you have? So he tells me he has a lot of fresh fruit juices. Basically watermelon was, I think, something that we used to get in that season. So it was almost winters when I'd been there, so it was October till December that I was there. So I think he told me watermelon and other basic other fruits like we had bananas and all. He introduced to us one good fruit over there, baobab, Baobab. This
Baobab. Okay.
baobab fruit. So he told me baobab fruit, baobab fruit juice. I was like, so see, we are not receptive or we are not that comfortable when it comes to somebody telling us, sir, ab ye try karo.
Yeah.
ये भैया ये मेन्यू में है लेकिन इसमें होता क्या है, मतलब इसमें ऑफर क्या करते हो? बैरियर over here. This guy can speak but a very futa broken English, and I still won't. Baobab, what exactly is baobab? He shows up this big fruit. Sir, this is baobab. And baobab.
So that's a fruit, right? Or what it is? Fruit.
That's a fruit. That's a fruit. It tastes something like it's sour. Basically, khatta hai. It's sour. It tastes something like oranges and sweet and sour hai. I cannot tell you the balance. It's more sour. It's blandish and it's sweet. There are 3 tinges. There are 3 aftertastes that you will have on your tongue after you've had this fruit. So हमको ये पहले पता नहीं था, हमने बोला let's try something new, baobab fruit, 1 glass, yes 1 glass, 2 of us, then we'll see if we like it, we'll have one more glass. We gave a glass full of baobab. So this guy is poor, I told you, right? तो इसके पास वो ऐसा मिक्सर नहीं है, ये उसको हाथ से ऐसा बनाता है और आपको जूस में डाल के मिक्स करके, मतलब पानी में मिक्स करके ऐसे जूस बना के देता है. If you need sugar, but he already put in sugar because I think he knew that this thing is basically sour to taste. So I was like, okay. हमने जब टेस्ट किया उसको, so that hit us like खट्टा है यार. But it's good. It is tasty on your tongue. Basically, the aftertaste is lingering on your tongue, and then you want to have another sip of that drink. You have another, and then you start liking it. So it's just like your lemon squeezed out, or your orange is squeezed out, and sweet and sour in taste. So it is tasty. It is also tasty. But we didn't want the other drink to be that imbalanced, right? I mean, because it's also putting in sugar. So we asked him, what other choices do you have? He said he'll make us banana baobab juice. Like,
Okay.
oh,
Adding banana. Okay.
good. This should be tried because now we know baobab. We have tasted baobab. We know bananas. We have tasted bananas, and a baobab banana combination. I don't know how it would taste. Let's try that.
Yeah.
He gets it. And that became an all-time favorite. So anytime we used to visit the beach, he used to give this drink for something around 50 dollars, I think. So roughly around 70 Indian rupees. So 75 Indian रुपए में अपन को बनाना बायोबाब जूस मिल रहा है जो कि ट्रॉपिकल है और वहाँ अलग सा कुछ मिल रहा है. तो हम लोग यही उसके पास हमेशा ऑर्डर करते थे. तो हमारा हमेशा का आना जाना हो गया वहां पे, उसी के पास आते थे. और जब हम बीच पे आएंगे how late it is, however late it is. ये बंदा हमको पूछता था, sir, the usual banana baobab? I'm like, yes. Have the banana baobab ready for us. We'll be coming in maybe half an hour to 45 minutes after the walk on the beach. So
Yeah.
we used to do that. We used to come back, sit at this place, and have that banana baobab drink. So one fine day we were sitting here at his place having banana baobab juice, and two strangers having some musical instruments. They walked up to us.
Okay.
They're like, "Can we play a song for you?" Oh yeah, you're taking a surprise, right? You don't have people who do that. India में कोई ऐसा ढोल बजाते हुए आएगा और बोलेगा पैसा दे दो.
Right. Nobody asked. That is true.
आपको ये नहीं पूछता कि मैं आपके लिए गाना बजाऊं, फिर आप मुझे पैसे देना. So I'm like, how much are you going to charge us for it? He said, give it as per your wish.
अच्छा, okay.
So as per your wish मतलब यार फिर भी expectation होता है सामने वाले का 20, 40, 50, 100, whatever you ask for, because you're going to sing for me, right? You are holding two instruments, you're going to sing for me. What do you expect?
Yeah.
We saw them coming from that side, and they were singing for some other people too. So we asked him, how much did those guys pay you? He said, 30 Dalasni.
Okay.
So, 30 Dalasni is pretty cheap, yeah. I mean, Indian rupees is like 45 Indian rupees. That's pretty cheap. I'm like, okay, let's go ahead. So this guy, they started singing Waka Waka.
Achha.
In a unique version. So maybe sure we could upload this Waka Waka. I have this recorded towards the end. I have this video recorded for us. They had this big round thing which was producing bass. So जब ये मेरे पास चलते हुए आया, we were not thinking कि इसमें से कुछ इतना आवाज आएगा, because they were just playing it somewhat next to us and it didn't have some sound. It didn't have that much of sound. The other guy was two bell-like structures and was much like beans into it, and it was just making something like that. It was just basically वो बच्चों के हाथ में दिया जाता है ना चुन 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 वाला, ये उस तरह का उसके दो डिवाइसेस थे जिसको वो बजाने वाला था करके झुनझुने जैसा, और एक के हाथ में इतना बड़ा ऐसा गोल सा है, उसको ऐसा पाइप है और उसके ऊपर स्ट्रिंग्स है. तो ये उसके ऊपर ऐसा बैठता है. He sits on it and he plays the string. Basically it's a percussion instrument जिसको स्ट्रिंग को बजा के आवाज किया जा सकता है. तो इसने शुरू किया करके वक्का वक्का ए वक्का वक्का आ. You welcome Mahesh, you're welcome Vishal, you're welcome to Gambia. ऐसा.
Wow.
And thinking this, and it's waka waka the same tune, and this instrument is producing bass. When he bangs his hand on it, it's producing bass. Wow, beautiful. So I have this recording, so maybe we could try and upload that. So if we recording and we put on a headphone, we'll even understand the bass on it. It was beautiful. These people had this beautiful instrument and it played awesome. It played awesome. Not expressing my words.
Your stories are so interesting. Like I can see you had a very, very good time in Gambia.
No, I just tell you, if we have the whole time until tomorrow morning, maybe I could iterate a lot of things out there.
Yeah, I can see that.
To another story, at this same place, same beach, Mahesh was older, right? Mahesh had been there for past 1.5 months or so before me. So Mahesh wanted to buy shells. Shells which are unique in color, which are unique in shape, and that have been caught at the sea. And the beauty of this was some shells were caught live. They were what do you say? They were zinda the wo. They were live shells when they were caught. So some shells, when they were opened, they even had a pearl inside it. So Mahesh, yeah, right? I see it was something. So
like a pearl inside is like a thing, yeah.
Which was chasing this one person who used to come to this baobab juice seller
Hmm.
now and then. So Manish had been in touch with this guy for a very long time, and after I reached, maybe 2 weeks after I reached, this guy again showed up on the beach, and Manish asked him, "Did you get my shells?" He said, "No closed shell found, man. No closed shell found. I want to give you pearl, but no closed shell found." So Mahesh wanted a closed shell, basically something that he could carry to India as a souvenir, and
Yeah.
he didn't find one. The other guy, he did not find one. So Mahesh asked him, what other shells do you have? Let us see if you have shells today. We could buy them today because I see this guy tells me that you have shells that come and go, and some are even unique. So let's see what you have in collection today. So he said,
Yeah.
I don't have it today. I won't have it today. You come tomorrow, I'll show you tomorrow. So Mahesh is
Okay.
like, we don't come tomorrow. Tomorrow we don't find you. What time you come? What time we come? We don't have a common time.
Yeah.
So this guy started sensing that he might be losing business there. So he thought for a while and he said, okay, come with me. So come with me. Okay, this is a deal, right? So he's taking us to some place where maybe he's hiding stuff. This
Okay.
is what comes to mind. क्योंकि जब कोई इंसान इतनी देर सोचने के बाद आपको बोलता है कि चलो मेरे साथ, तो आपको पहले ही डाउट होता है कि छुपा के रखा है, देना नहीं था इसको, है इतने टाइम बाद बोला चलो
Yeah.
चल। तो हम लोग ने फिर बोला चलो इसके पीछे पीछे जाते। So he takes us on the beach. He makes us walk for half a kilometer or so. आधे किलोमीटर के बाद बीच के एक तरफ 7 फीट है। 7 फीट की रेत मतलब मेरे सर के ऊपर चला गया, इतनी रेत है ऐसा। There is
Hmm.
a steep inclination and there is trees on the other side. You don't see a place where you should actually be going, but this guy is certain यहाँ जाना है. You have to go.
Hmm.
Come with me. Where- I really don't see anything over there. Where is he taking us? So
Hmm.
we went up that small inclination, and on the other side, what you see on the other side is just what? Trees over there. There's beach over there. There's trees over there. There's nothing over there.
Hmm.
And he's going to drive us. He's going to take us. I mean, not drive us. He's going to walk us through that trees over there. So I was like, okay, let's see कहाँ लेके जा रहा है. कुछ तो अभी एडवेंचर होने वाला है, ये मन में पहले ही आ जाता है कि एडवेंचर अब होने वाला है, ये कहीं तो अपने को अंदर लेके जा रहा है बीच के, यहाँ पे कहीं कुछ दिख रहा है.
Hmm.
We kept for another 30-40 odd meters inside the beach, and
Hmm.
when it is walking in sand, it is not that easy. Your feet get stuck into the sand. You have to
Right.
pull it up to keep walking. And we are in bare slippers. Yeah, चप्पल में चलते थे हम लोग वहाँ पे, क्योंकि बीच नजदीक था तो हम लोग चप्पल में जाते थे, चप्पल पर उतर के कहाँ जाएंगे, तो हम लोग अपने साथ
Correct.
लेके जाते थे. So we were in slippers and we were finding it difficult to walk. This guy had shoes, of course, and I mean the kind of broken shoes that he usually wears. He was wearing that, and we were in chappals. We were following him. And as soon as we hit a tree that's half broken, half fallen down, can you imagine this sight? You know, एक पेड़ है, आधा टूटा हुआ है, like the banyan trees that we have in India, densely
Yeah.
populated, somewhat like that. And this tree is fallen, and then we see that there is some place that he's built. वहाँ पे कुछ जगह बनाया हुआ है इसने कुछ अच्छा सा इसको डेकोरेट किया हुआ है.
Okay.
शार्क का स्केलेटन, मतलब एक स्कल जो होता है ना, उतना लगाया हुआ है उसने वहां पे. आई डोंट नो,
Shark?
मे बी शार्क का. We just saw it, and it was, I don't know, I think you call it a hammerhead. No, it's not a hammerhead shark. It is basically a shark with a big flat nose with pointed edges on it. I don't know what it is called. Hammerhead का ऐसा और ऐसा आगे से चपटा होता है ना, hammer की तरह होता है. It's not a hammerhead shark. I don't know what that shark is called. That shark head, that shark skull is hung over there. ये ऊपर टंगा हुआ है. So I thought कि ये शायद लोगों को डराने के लिए रखा हुआ है यहाँ पे इसने, या whatever, या फिर टैबू बेसिकली होता है ना कि
Good
keep the bad
superstitious. Yeah, something like that.
keep the bad evils away or whatever, उस तरह से कुछ लगाया हुआ था इसलिए. We looked at
Yeah.
it, asked him, what skull is this? I mean, what animal is this? Oh, sorry, what fish is this? He tells me it's a shark skull. where did you find this, man? This is a big skull. And it's not even small, right? When we're talking about a shark skull, it's not
Yeah.
a small skull that we're talking about. Like,
Small, yeah.
it's a big skull. It's a big one. बड़ा सा है. मेरे शायद इतना बड़ा हाथ है, उतना बड़ा वो skull है वहाँ पे यार लगाया हुआ. And it was beautiful. Then he takes us inside. The place inside was very, very beautifully decorated. Very beautifully decorated. It had place for people to sit, to have a mini picnic, just outside the beach, you know.
Mm.
Beautiful. It was beautifully decorated. It was so enchanting. It was so mesmerizing. I cannot explain the beauty and serenity that it had inside it. Basically, what surrounded and what it had inside it, but it was very divine. It was serene, very serene. And when you walk inside, you just feel that you can just sit here and you can meditate for hours. It was so peaceful and so quiet out there. You have the
Wow.
beach right to you. You have
Yeah.
the sound of waves continuously. You have people who are chattering, shouting, and doing all sort of stuff behind you. And here you have isolation, the absolute isolation that you need, surrounded by
Yeah.
city all around you.
Sounds like a very ideal place.
This was a
Then
very
did Mahesh got shells? Like, did you guys see any shells?
Yeah, he had a sack full, एक पूरा बोरी भर के ना उसने डम किया हुआ था. So when we asked, the first thing was the place struck us, the place basically awestruck us. So fascinated looking at this place and हम लोग ऐसे थे कि यार कहाँ से बनाया है ऐसा, ये कब बनाया, कहाँ से बनाया, ये अकेले बनाया. He explained everything. Yes, this is not open for public right now, but you can come in. You are my people. You can come in. And
Yeah.
trust me, Shubha, those people are so welcoming. They immediately take you as their people. This is not you're my people. You can come in. You tell me anytime. I give you here. I give you here. You can sit here. You can have lunch. You need anything, I get for you. You need food, I get for you food from here outside. You sit here. You take this as your own place. That's how beautiful they are. They'll let you sit by their place and they'll give you everything that they have. Even their last morsel of food, if they're eating in front of you, they'll give it to you. That beautiful.
Wow.
Okay, last morsel of food also reminds me of another story that we have. I'd just like to iterate this into a very short story. So this place basically where we used to buy vegetables was far off from where we stayed. ट्रैफिक लाइट करके जाना था. ट्रैफिक लाइट तक हम लोग ड्राइव करके जाते थे करीबन 40 मिनट्स तक, और 40 मिनट्स के बाद वो ट्रैफिक लाइट पे हम लोग राइट लेते थे और वहां पे एक बेकरी था. ठीक है, वहां लोग फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स लेते थे. तो इस जगह पे हम लोग एक दिन एक वेजिटेबल्स ले रहे थे और वेजिटेबल्स लेके होने के बाद सामने एक ये था, ग्रोसरी स्टोर था. वहां से हमने सोचा कि चलो छोटा मोटा जो ग्रोसरीज है वो ले लेते हैं. तो वी वेंट इनसाइड, ओके, एंड वी वेंट इनसाइड एंड दोस गाइज वर टॉकिंग हिंदी.
Acha. Were they Indians?
They were Indians, yes, they were Indians. And then we realized that a lot of people over there are Indians, and a lot of Indian people have set their shops over there. A lot of shops are being owned by Indian people, and they drive their business over there, and they employ Gambians over there to work basically during the daytime. So
Wow.
we developed a good rapport with them. जो उसके बाद जाके फिर हम लोग यूजुअली हिंदी में वगैरह बात करके जो भी चाहिए सामान वो ले लेते थे. It becomes more easy to communicate. By the way, if you need क्या बोलते हैं इसको, रवा, अगर रवा खरीदना हो तो explaining रवा to somebody is very difficult, but रवा is called semolina in English. So if you tell them semolina, जो हमको पता नहीं था, मुझे तो कोई पता नहीं था वहां पहुंचने तक, but one fine day when we were actually buying it, he told us next time अगर आपको ये किसी और शॉप में चाहिए तो semolina करके पूछना, वो आपको बताएगा ये चीज क्या है. उस तरह से.
But then obviously that helps if it is other person is Indian, so obviously these things
Yeah.
help.
इंडियन होगा तो फिर बहुत हेल्प होता है. एंड
Yeah.
एग्जैक्ट आउटसाइड हिज शॉप was a guy where we thought we could have maybe a small snack before we left for home. So it was snack time. It was 6:30 in the evening. हमने सोचा कि चलो यहाँ पे स्नैक खाते हैं इसके पास सामने से और हम लोग फिर तो डिनर को थोड़ा और डिले करके और आराम से डिनर बना सकते हैं. सो गाइड सामने ही गाड़ी लगा दिया सुपरमार्केट के सामने और इसके पास चले गए. उसको पूछा व्हाट डू यू हैव, व्हाट डू यू वांट.
अच्छा.
We don't know basically what you serve, so anything we need something light to eat. So he understood. Okay. He gave us eggs and bread. So they have this Subway kind of footlong bread. So he filled it with egg. He put some sauces in it. And sauces, I don't mean Subway like sauces. I'm talking about a roadside stall, which is giving sauce, which is very basic. It's not going to be a very good. Some mayo kind of sauce and basically tomato ketchup. That's all that he. So ये बना के दे दिया उसने, and the sauce was delicious, of course. So we used to enjoy it. We had it later also, maybe 5-6 times. We used to go there to get fruit. So we used to go to this place. So the second or third time that we go to him, we see that he is also preparing tea. So we asked him, tea. ये चाय हमको पीना है. We asked him in English, हमको ये चाय पीना है. Like no, this is coffee.
अच्छा.
This is coffee. So, coffee. Okay, we'll have 2 cups of coffee. Yeah, please give us these 2 cups of coffee. Okay. The usual bread and egg followed by coffee. So, he gave us the coffee just after he gave us the bread and egg. So, he gave us in big cups and we finished eating first. So, we thought it's usual coffee and it's hot at the same time. So, I don't usually drink very hot tea or coffee. So I was like, okay, इसको हम थोड़ा ठंडा करके पियेंगे एंड तब तक खाना खत्म. ब्रेड भी कड़क हो जाता है. बेसिकली उनका ब्रेड हमारे ब्रेड की तरह नहीं होता, थोड़ा कड़क होता है. इट्स नॉट द सबवे काइंड ऑफ ब्रेड. राइट. आई टोल्ड यू आई जस्ट कंपेयर्ड इट विद सबवे, बट इट्स नॉट सबवे. थोड़ा हार्ड ब्रूम की तरह थोड़ा हार्ड होता है. सो वी फिनिश्ड ईटिंग इट एंड देन आई पिक अप द कप एंड इट वाज ऑलमोस्ट lukewarm. That's how I enjoy my cup of tea. My cup of coffee. So it's not hot, piping hot as other have it. So mine is usually lukewarm, and I'm like lukewarm. Wow, this is one of the best coffees that I've ever had, and I don't know what this is. And the next eager statement to this guy is, "Excuse me, what is this made up of?" It's coffee. What coffee? I brew it myself, he said. I brew it myself. He brews the coffee himself.
Okay.
This coffee is delicious. So now, if I have to explain that coffee to you, this coffee is not the actual roasted bean of coffee that we have. I think this was more of the actual bean that has been plucked off the tree itself, and then it has been to give you the flavor and essence that it has. So this is not a roasted.
Like it is plugged and then it is brewed directly after that. Something like that?
Something like that.
Wow.
ये बंदा ना हमको रेसिपी तो देने वाला नहीं था, अब बता भी नहीं रहा था कि कैसा है. When you sip it for the first time, you understand that there are fruity notes in it. हल्का सा है और it is coffee definitely. लेकिन ना जब हम चाय के पत्तों को गर्म करते हैं ग्रीन टी वाले, उसका कैसा हल्का सा टेस्ट होता है, हल्का सा वैसा है. So it is not coffee, it's not actually coffee, it's not actually tea, it's something in between. Fruity taste भी है.
अच्छा.
कलर पे तो ध्यान ही नहीं गया, कलर पे तो बाद में ध्यान गया. और इसका कलर क्या है? इसका कलर ब्राउन भी नहीं, इसका कलर हल्का सा ऑफ वाइटिश कलर का है, ग्रीनिश हल्का सा. यस, That tells me कि ओके ये रोस्टेड बीन कॉफी नहीं है, ये शायद फ्रूट से ही इसने डेवलप किया है. फ्रूट को ही बॉईल है कॉफी के.
So I think we got a lot of stories from you about people, how our culture, instruments, music, and these stories tell so much about how the place is. You know, I mean, how interesting place is. I remember talking to you that you left Gambia in mid of your assignment. It
All
was
right.
some uncertain situations happened in the country, and that made you leave the country. What was that all about? Like, what was those situations?
Right. So we came in December. We came around this phase when we had the elections, local elections for the president.
Okay.
So this current president, I mean the then current president, I don't remember his exact name. They have some big names, you know. So I don't remember the exact name that he had.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So this guy was holding the current presidential position for a very long time. So he was earlier, yeah, he was earlier person from the military, and
Okay.
he he did a coup, and he became a president after a military coup. So
Okay.
the local elections were held on 1st of December something, and on 1st of December, uh, they had their local elections where people in majority, I think, voted against him. So
Okay.
when they voted against him, he did not want to leave his presidential position, of course. So,
Okay.
so he was adamant of leaving his presidential position when the results were declared, and he was declared to be losing the elections by a large margin, and the majority was won by Adama Barrow, who is the current president position, the current president position holder. So Adama Barrow won the elections in 2016. The results were declared something on 4th of December, I think, and Adama Barrow had won by a large majority. You know, he was winning by a big majority. So उस टाइम पे क्या हुआ ना कि बेसिकली जब इस तरह की चीजें होती है in any country, like we do have it, like we do have communal riots and everything. So there is a state of imbalance that goes on, and at that point of time, we had this recent movie called Airlift, I think. When
Yeah.
I think
Akshay
Airlift came
Kumar.
in later or whatever, something around that time. And I really
Yeah.
felt that some people need to take us out of here, because it was really difficult when we actually were working for the government run
Right.
a government-run telecom operator, and then we had to leave the country and without informing them, and you know it was basically a lot of chaos over there with all these things happening. So we had a word with people who were at India, our managers and everybody from our company, and we let them know that the political situation is a bit disturbed over here. What do?
Yeah.
We sense it might settle down in some time, but
Yeah.
for now we are captivated inside. Like अभी लॉकडाउन कैसा है उस टाइम पे वैसा वहां पे लॉकडाउन हो गया था, बिकॉज पॉलिटिकली सिचुएशन बहुत डिस्टर्ब हो गया था. द मिलिट्री पावर इज विद द प्रेसिडेंट हु डजंट वांट टू लीव हिज पोजीशन, एंड द
Yeah.
पीपल आर अपोजिंग हिम टू स्टेप डाउन, एंड people going on the streets and creating chaos is also not allowed. So we also had people, army men, who were making rounds with their guns and everything. So you sometimes feel threatened, right? You feel unsafe in such a situation where political situations have disturbed the country as such. So
Right.
we thought it would be wise to move out and come back when the situation stabilizes. So we let our peers and our managers over here know that you should book a flight for us, and we'll be heading back to India. So
Yeah.
I did not actually tell my family that I would be coming back to India, and I just gave them a hint that do you need anything from here, something like that. And I think we left Gambia on the 8th of December after 52 days. So it was just a 52-day 52-day visit that I had at Gambia. I was supposed to stay there for at least 4 months and extend it later, but I stayed there only for around 52 days and left on the 8th of December after I went there on 27th of October or something. I don't remember the exact date. So
Okay.
I flew from, sorry?
No. Go ahead.
I thought you were saying something. So, but 52 days, 52 दिन वहां पे रहने के बाद मैं वहां से इमीडिएटली निकला और फिर वहां से निकल के फिर मैं वही पुराना जर्नी करके आता हूँ फ्रॉम गाम्बिया टू मोरक्को टू दुबई एंड दुबई टू मुंबई, ऐसे करके वापस आता हूँ. एंड दुबई से कैब एंड सॉरी मुंबई से कैब एंड एवरीथिंग अरेंज थी अपनी, कैब लेके घर आया एंड माय पेरेंट्स आर सरप्राइज्ड. Is this a kid? How come he is here? How come he is here back so soon? And yesterday he was talking to us on the phone, telling us everything is fine and everything is going good over here. The first question that he asked me is, क्या हुआ, वहां से निकाल दिया क्या?
Yeah,
The
but
first thing that
I think you get scared when these kind of situations arrive when you're not
situations
in your
happen,
country,
right?
right? Yeah,
You're not in
that
your
must
country,
be.
so
Yeah.
that's not safe. So you basically start thinking about your own safety when you're locked up inside.
Mm.
घर के अंदर कितने दिन तक बैठेंगे, खाने पीने का कैसे करेंगे, है ना?
Right.
रिसोर्सेज की बात होने वाली है, रिसोर्सेज कैसे मैनेज करेंगे, खाने पीने की चीजें कैसे होंगी. अभी हमने स्टॉक तो करके रखा हुआ था कि चलो यार अंदर रहना, स्टॉक करके रखेंगे. हमारा फ्रिज खाने से भरा हुआ था, हमारा शेल्फ किचन का खाने से भरा हुआ था, कि हमारे पास बहुत सारी चीजें थी. अब अचानक ये डिसीजन लिया गया कि निकलना है यहाँ से, तो वो सारा खाना हमने वैसा का वैसा छोड़ दिया. हमको पता था कि अगर हम बताएंगे तो it could get, I mean, this news could spread like wildfire. So we
Basically,
didn't
you didn't
inform them.
tell anyone, you just got to the airport and left the country.
Left the country. Yes, that's it. That's it. We just informed one person who was supposed to drop us to the airport, because that's the only contact that we could be sure of, and we could be rest assured that this person is helpful and trustworthy. उसी को सिर्फ बताया गया है कि हम लोग अब निकल रहे हैं, एंड आप प्लीज आइए इस टाइम पे, रात के 4 बजे की हमारी फ्लाइट है, और आप प्लीज हमको 12 बजे के आसपास पिकअप कर लीजिए और एयरपोर्ट तक ड्रॉप कर दीजिए. सो दैट पर्सन हु हैड ऑलरेडी पिक्ड अप, I think he had picked up us when we were landing in Gambia. He came back and he picked us up at Gambia and he took us back to the airport, and that's how we made our way out of Gambia. And sadly, I mean, there are so many people who I'm still connected to at Gambia. I want to visit that country again. I want to let them know that I'll be visiting Gambia, and those people were so happy when they heard when they hear about our country. Like they like India. वहाँ बैठे हुए लोगों को इंडिया बहुत पसंद है, तो वो लोग बोलते हैं कि please invite us for your wedding. We like to come to India. That's what they tell me. So sadly, I got.
But is security situation better now, वहाँ पर?
Oh yes, of course. I forgot to tell you this. So after we left, right? So this is also on Wiki and all. You'll find this on Wiki too. So what happened is, after we left the country, we had news. We were constantly in touch with those people, asking them how everything is happening and how the country is faring now. They went on to tell us that the country is better now. I mean, with passage of time, they had support from some other Asian countries, and even Senegal now, who supports them and surrounds them. Senegal sent in forces, military forces, to help them dethrone the current president. So they had military powers from the other supporting countries too. They had other countries who actually gave them support and sent in military forces too. So supported by their own military and other and the military power of other countries, they managed to get the current president down from his position that he was holding, and unwilling to step down as the president. And that took them around 3 or 4 months, I think, because it was not an easy task to get military into your country and just, I mean,
Correct.
he still has power, right? So they didn't want gunfights, basically. So they wanted to end it peacefully. So they had military walking into their own country, but they did not have them closer to his place or some place where he would feel threatened. So there were still diplomatic talks between the other countries like Senegal and Guinea and other countries, and they had these diplomatic talks where they actually managed to ask him to step down, and they persuaded him to understand that, sir, you have lost an election. You need to basically step down as the president now and leave your position. You should give a chance to someone else who has won the election, something like that. So it was basically kind of forced, but persuaded at the same time. So उस बंदे ने फिर स्टेप डाउन किया और 3-4 महीने लग गए होंगे इसमें. फिर आफ्टर ही स्टेप डाउन, Adama Barrow took over as the next president, and he is still the current president of Gambia, and people are happy there now. I mean, they're happy with the new president.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Like, a happy ending to the
Right.
story.
Happy ending to the story.
Yeah. But then
That thing
tell me
just,
one thing,
yeah.
like, did you had any stereotypes before going to Gambia?
Oh,
Like, we all have, like, we read about things and we have our opinions and all that. So, any stereotypes, and did that change in any way? If you had any, did that change in any way?
yes, yes. So, when I tell you the story, right, Shubha, that when I was supposed to go, I was basically I had persuaded, or I had the whole of my family in confidence that yes, it is an African country, but that is safe.
Right.
But some lady from who stays in front of us comes to my mom, Africa ला जाना रे. Sorry, I'm using Marathi now. Africa, वहाँ पे तो
Yeah,
बंदूकें
like
होती है लोगों
you
के हाथ
told
में.
us कि सब डर गए थे कि वहाँ बंदूक बंदूक रहता है and all
डर
that.
गए थे
But
बंदूक.
then what about you? Like, did you had any things in your mind?
Right. So I got so if you have news that is floating around you like this, you just get you just I mean you get blown away by the facts, right? And sometimes if people like your own sister, she Googles up one country and she finds Zambia instead of Gambia, she Googles up a different country and she finds that that country named
Yeah.
Zambia is famous. This
Yeah.
country named Zambia is famous for violence. So that desettles everything, right? So
Yeah.
basically unsettles the whole peace that you have in your own family. And she goes on to narrate the fact that भैया मैंने ये पढ़ा है गूगल पे जाम्बिया ऐसे जगह पे जा रहे हो. And then I'm like, जाम्बिया नहीं है गाम्बिया. एक बार गाम्बिया तो रिसर्च करके देखो. फिर गाम्बिया हम लोग सब बैठ के रिसर्च करते हैं. हाँ नहीं गाम्बिया सेफ है, हम लोग गाम्बिया जा सकते हैं. और
Yeah.
I was basically swaying in this whole swing where my teammates have gone to Gambia before. Two of them are already at Gambia and they're telling me, safe hai Vishal, aaja, safe hai Vishal, aaja. And the others are telling you, ah, nahi, ऐसा नहीं होता, तौबा, Gambia safe नहीं है. और फिर you get into that that corridor of uncertainty where you don't know whether you should swing to the other side or you should go to the front side, right? So you basically
Correct.
don't
Yeah.
know where you should be actually swinging to. But duty calls, right? Your company is telling you that you need to go to this country and they'll be paying you for it, and it is a part of your assignment. You need to go.
Yeah.
Your visa has been made. Your visa has come in stamped from Delhi, of course. दिल्ली से वीजा
Yeah.
आ गया. आप क्या ना बोल रहे हो? हाँ, पहले तो
Right.
तुमने एग्री किया था. तुम्हारे 2 टीममेट वहां पे हैं, एक को रिप्लेस करना है. तुमने पहले
Yeah.
हाँ बोला, अभी ना बोलोगे? ऐसे कैसे चलेगा? So
But I think your
with
experiences talks a lot about the place, like the stories you
yes,
told us.
right.
That's itself says that, it sounds like a very safe country. If you talk as a
Safe
third person, if I
country,
talk about that, it sounds like a very safe country.
very safe country, right? So Shubha, we hear so much about African countries and even parts of South Africa where there is a gun in even a child's hand and something like that. This place is not like that. I've barely seen a gun in anybody else's hand except for the military people who walk over there. They have military support at places. They don't have. They have policemen, but the policemen are not like our policemen who actually hold guns. They are basically there to support and help, and it's mostly military power that they had. I don't know if it has changed over time, but in 2016 they had all the military power being being used up as the forces like the police forces that we have over here. और वही लोग वहाँ पे पीस एंड हार्मनी मेंटेन करने का भी काम करते हैं. और वहाँ पे पीस और हार्मनी के अलावा मैंने और कुछ नहीं देखा. और गाम्बिया इज सच अ ब्यूटीफुल प्लेस. वहाँ पे हॉर्न मारना गाली देने के बराबर है. तो 52 डेज में शायद मैंने 2 या 3 बार सिर्फ हॉर्न सुना होगा. हॉर्न भी सुनने नहीं मिलता, इतना पीसफुल है. तो सेफ्टी भी इतना है, राइट. तो सेफ्टी भी इतना है कि गाड़ियां एक दूसरे से डिस्टेंस में चलती है, लोग एक दूसरे से बात करते हैं और हाय हेलो करते हैं और अच्छे से डिस्टेंस मेंटेन करते हैं. बिकॉज everybody is a foreigner there basically, so they have their own personal space and people do not get into anybody else's personal space. Even if you're shopping, you do not get into anybody else's personal space. They don't do that, and it's a very good culture out there. They support a very good culture. Basically they were driven by British, right? अगर ब्रिटिश लोगों ने आपको ड्राइव किया है, you're bound to have good cultures. So the basic the basic thing when they see you is a greet. अगर आप उनको ग्रीट नहीं करोगे तो वो आपको आगे का आंसर नहीं देते. हाय, हेलो, यू, हेलो, हाउ आर यू, अगर आप ये नहीं पूछते उनको तो वो आगे आपसे बात नहीं करते. उनको बुरा लगता है कि you did not greet me, you did not ask me how I am. That is how they start a conversation. So if you don't say hi, how are you, they don't start a conversation. People basically do not talk without a hi or a hello. That's how beautiful they are. And
That's so
they are
interesting. I
beautiful
mean,
people.
your stories have been crazy, and your experience is really, really very, that gave us so much insight about that country, basically. Your story said everything for us. So I think this brings us to the end of the talk, and I am
Right.
so happy to have you because, Gambia, when you started talking about Gambia, I was like, I had heard couple of stories from you before also, but this was like a very detailed and a lot many stories that I had heard before. So it was great to have you, Vishal. It was really nice hearing to your stories.
I'm glad to be here too, Shubha. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity and telling people about Gambia, which is a very beautiful place. And once everything settles down after this Corona thing, maybe we could just pay a visit to Gambia sometime,
Yeah.
जो अपने
I
hit
look
list पे
forward
है
to
ना.
that. I look forward
Yes.
to that. So, okay, thank you everyone. Thank you, Vishal.